I'm literally filling out things, and they're like, "Can you play a role?" And then I see Latinx. I'm like, I don't know if I can play Latinx because I don't know what the hell this is. And I met this management company, and I'm like, I literally was like, what's Latinx? And they looked at me like I was a freaking alien. Things that conservatives are finding quite annoying about the left. It relates to that a little bit because I've heard.
Interesting that you want to go that direction. Okay,
I heard John Leguizamo talk about this, and then I heard some other.
Is John Leguizamo conservative?
No, he's very left.
That's what I thought.
And,
I wouldn't have
and
thought
then I
that
heard, and I love John Leguizamo. I think he's brilliant. And then I've heard some other Latin American pundits and comedians go the opposite way from him. So I remember. Was it Bill Maher talking to John Leguizamo? And Bill Maher was straight up I think it was Bill Maher. We'll say it's Bill Maher for now. He was straight up was like, what's with the Latinx thing? Like, why can't it just be Latinos? And John Leguizamo was like, because, Latinos is masculine and we want to, be inclusive of our, Latin American sisters. So now it's Latinx. And Bill Maher is sitting here going, but isn't Latinos, isn't that, like, in that language, isn't that inclusive of that? I hadn't even heard of Latinx till I got to LA in January. I'm literally filling out things, and they're like, can you play a role? And then I see Latinx, I'm like, I don't know if I can play Latinx because I don't know what the hell this is. And I met this management company, and I'm like, I literally was like, what's Latinx? And they looked at me like I was a freaking alien.
And I felt at that point.
And I felt stupid. I was like, they're like, it just means Latin American. I mean, like, why doesn't it just say Latin American? And they're like, because we use Latinx now. And I'm like, oh. So, and the argument I'm trying to make is you've got a lot of Latin Americans that think the Latinx thing is freaking stupid. They see it as a thing that was created by woke, leftist white people to kind of push more of their left ideals upon them. And I've heard some Latin American pundits being like, we hate this type of shit. This is why you're losing votes. This type of shit is why you're losing Latin American votes. I don't know, it sounds small. And at the same time, I think it matters a little bit. I think when you mount up these kinds of things here and there, I think it does make things a little more divisive. And like, again, most Latin Americans socially are very conservative. So I think something like that does irritate a lot of them that are not in the Hollywood industry. I think, or the entertainment industry. I think they sit like in Brownsville, Texas. Like, so I grew up on the border, right? So I partially grew up on the border, but my family lives on the border of Mexico. They don't use Latinx. It's not a thing. I've only heard it in Los Angeles. It irritates people just enough. Your thoughts?
Once again, it's a lot. Cannot speak to the validity or the importance of the Latinx terminology. I myself, while having been mistaken for being one of the Latinxes, am not. And but I have been familiar with the term, and I think I knew about the term maybe before you did, maybe not.
Okay. Because it just came out of nowhere.
I'm not surprised that a large portion of the Latin American community would just not subscribe to that. Because Latina is also a term, just like Latino is a term. And Latino stands for both male and female as a greater group. Yeah. Now, one could say, and I'm not saying that I subscribe to this, but one could say that inherently within the language, the fact that Latinos would be the assumption of both a mixed male and female group in itself is misogynistic. But I'm not saying that myself. And that's not the point. I mean, no, that's not the point. Maybe not. But
even if it is.
Even if it is, that's not for liberal Americans to decide to change, right?